All right, let's get into our 4-point segment where we all talk nerdy about the weather. Today, it's all about the lake effect snow outbreak coming for the Great Lakes, and we're going to talk about who could see the worst of it. I think we all kind of agree it's Chicago, but spots in northern Indiana and Michigan will see some pretty hefty snowfall totals as well. I'm going to start with our favorite rage baiter, Michael Estime.
Stirring the pot.
You know, not much baits to rage, though, as I think Chicago is probably going to be the bullseye. But again, there are plenty of places outside of Chicago that are going to see some really heavy snowfall totals over the next day or so.
Yeah, you know, and here's the thing. So, yes, I think Chicago, Cook County is going to get slammed in spots. But what I don't want to lose sight of is our friends and family right here, guys, Valparaiso, toward Valparaiso University, where we have that meteorology school. They are probably really excited about this. Michigan City, same sort of story. Here's what I think happens. It is going to be places like where Brandy Campbell is at in Michigan City. They've already seen a coating to perhaps upwards of an inch of snow. And some of the forecast models, notably the GFS model, is showing we could see a band of snow, a significant band of snow, stall in this sort of area for hours and hours and hours on end through the day tomorrow. And here's the problem is that with snowfall rates, the National Weather Service saying 3 to 5 inches per hour, okay? And then you say this is over multiple hours. I wouldn't be surprised if we did pick up the near 18 inches of snow in Valparaiso.
I mean, based on that, would you say that maybe some of those numbers there could be underdone?
You know what? So here's something, guys. I'm going to throw it out there. National Weather Service says that where a snow band becomes stationary, 2 to 4 feet of snow is possible. That is literally in their discussion. It's one of the reasons, guys, why I am watching this like a hawk.
And typically, the National Weather Service kind of plays it safe, right? They don't just throw out outlandish numbers just to throw them out. So that comes with some merit. Haley, would you agree with that, or are you going Chicago all the way?
Well, I will tell you what. I'm an only child, and I've always wanted a big brother. So, Michael, you can be my big brother in this moment. I'm going to poke you. I'm going to annoy you and disagree with you as your little sister here and say that, sure, I get your point for spots like Valparaiso out towards Michigan City, but Chicago, this is going to be a nightmare. Not only am I saying it, the National Weather Service, Michael, you pointed out 3 to 5 inches per hour with the snowfall rates. So even if you try and clear out the roads, the snow's just coming down too fast. It really just means that there's nothing you can do, and you really need to avoid travel. What I did here is I switched up the models that I'm looking at. In this particular case, we're looking at the HER model, which is typically a little bit better than the NBM or the GFS in the short term. And with that, it pushes some of the heavier snow totals further out towards the west, into Chicago, south into Kankakee County, where they could see close to 12, 18 inches. The National Weather Service saying that if a stationary lake effect snow band sets up, we could be talking 2 to 4 feet. Now, here's the NBM. Here's that slight difference. National Blended Models. It takes kind of an average of all of them. And that bullseye is closer to where Michael's talking about. So I understand where you're coming from, but certainly for Chicago, I mean, the HER, I think it has this number pinned. Even the Fox model is trending towards the HER's direction here. And with Chicago, again, just hyper-fixating along this area. Gary's, it's showing something, but I really think, especially after reading some of the wording here too, Bayne, from the National Weather Service out of Chicago, they're even saying that, hey, this snow band and the landfall, if you will, of this lake effect could be even north of Chicago, which would make worse some of the conditions. And so it's just going to be an absolute nightmare. It is very rare when you see a fetch setting up north to south along Lake Michigan.
And Bayne, you're from Michigan. You know that Lake Michigan has the longest potential fetch and setup for lake effect snow because it's running north to south.
Yeah, exactly. Lake Michigan is a spot you want to watch out for, but I actually want to touch on Lake Huron because we can't forget about the other part of Michigan where we actually could see a lot of snow. Now, Haley was talking about the HER and also the Fox weather model, and both the HER and the Fox weather model are pointing out Saginaw. And I will say there is that possibility of seeing close to 8 to 12 inches in that area, nearly a foot of snow coming in. And you can see where that fetch comes through and just impacts that one little spot, while parts around it probably getting maybe 2 to 3 inches. But that just goes to show how lake effect snow really works. I mean, one spot could get so much snow while your neighbor's getting hardly anything. Now, Lake Huron is really interesting, too, because not only are we going to be dealing with that fetch coming in with the snow bands that are going to be rolling on through, and again, a stationary snow band could be causing even more issues in that spot as well. But I want to touch on the winds because they could be gusting up to 30 to 40 miles per hour. So not only are we dealing with devastating amounts of snow coming in, but also it's going to be blowing around like crazy. So I do think that Michigan needs to watch out, not just the western or southwestern parts of it, but even up towards that thumb, again, by Saginaw, needs to be on high alert as we move throughout the next couple days.
That's a great point. Maybe that's kind of a sleeper area that might get buried in the lead that will be likely Chicago or northern Indiana. Another place that I do want to point out that could be a sleeper is the Appalachian mountain chain. I mean, I think we're going to see huge totals in and around the lake effect areas, and rightfully so, those will get all the headlines. But I mean, if you're in the Appalachian mountain chain, so western North Carolina or right through West Virginia, you can see all that cold air crashing down, and the orographic lift really going to squeeze out all that moisture. Cold, dense air is in place, and I think above 4,000 feet, we could see a foot of snow easily. So this spot here, or these spots, much less densely populated, so it's not going to impact near the amount of people that will be impacted in and around Chicago. But don't be surprised if we get some video and pictures from parts of West Virginia there near maybe Elkins that are very wintry and very snowy. And so maybe a little bit of a sleeper forecast on my end here, away from the Great Lakes, but something to keep in mind. Let me ask you guys this. For any doubting Thomas that's watching, because we've all heard it.
They're always there.
Right? The forecast comes and people will be like, I'll believe it when I see it.
Right.
Is there any chance in your mind that Chicago doesn't get clobbered with lake effect snow?
I think it all depends on the positioning of where we end up seeing that lake effect snow band set up.
That's the question. Do you think it sets up right over Chicago?
Yes.
Yeah.
And Haley, I will say, Haley, but just north of Chicago too. I mean, it's still Cook County, but this would be like, north of Chicago could see a really intense lake effect snow band as well.
I think
so
no
like
matter
downtown.
Yeah.
Do we think like downtown Chicago, like is the beam covered up with like 18 to?
I mean, I don't know about 18 to 20 inches. It's certainly a possibility for Chicago, but here's the thing. I mean, we're seeing just a few flurries with the initial onset of some of this synoptic push, and we already have an hour and a half delay at O'Hare. So let's be real here. Whether they have these crazy totals, record-breaking totals in Chicago, this is going to be an absolute travel nightmare. So just something to be aware of. My takeaway from that whole segment, everybody agrees with me, I'm right. Chicago, be prepared. We will be with you every step of the way, but don't say I didn't warn you.
Well, as the little sister, of course, you're always right, aren't you?
Of course. Parents love me most, too.
Hey, come on, playing favorites.